What's up, everybody? Lawler here. We've got European Regional 3 going down for the RLCS for the fall split. And before we ended up getting into the actual, matches, the qualifiers, close qualifiers, tiebreakers, all that kind of stuff, which I covered in a video a couple days ago, there was 17 teams still in the running for Europe. Whether that's depth or inconsistency or whatever you want to call it, it's still pretty nuts to know that before teams got eliminated from the main event, there was 17 teams that were still able to get into it. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down all the scenarios. I'm going to try to reword these so they make a little bit more sense. The phrasing of these I still don't like, but I'm not the one who did the scenario, so shout outs to the people on Reddit. But again, there's a lot of different teams, a lot of scenarios, so I'll try to go through these pretty quick. I'm going to give you a general idea of how these worked out, and then we'll go from there. So with that said, let's get into all of these because there is quite a few. What's up, everybody? Lawler here. Going to be covering all of the playoff scenarios for European RLCS to see who makes it to the fall major. There is a lot of things going down here. No one has officially clinched a spot just yet because of how close it truly is. But that makes for an exciting event. This weekend for Europe should be a really good time. So with that said, two that have automatically been eliminated are Navi and Guild. If you don't know, they did not qualify for the regional. Therefore, they can't really get any points. So Navi and Guild have been eliminated. Unfortunate results for them. 2 back-to-back. For Guild just in general. But yes, they are 2 of the 17. But because they didn't make top 16, they are out. We're going to start from the top, work our way down. These are easier scenarios, and then they get more complicated. So here we go. First team, Dignitas. Scrub Killer, the new edition, looking pretty dang good. They will qualify if they make top 14. That's pretty easy to do. You win one series in Swiss, and you're fine. So as long as Dignitas wins a single game, like a series, they're good. If they don't, if they go 0-3, just like Vitality and KCorp, then they need to make sure that at least 4 things don't happen. Last week, I talked about how the phrasing wasn't the greatest, and I still don't like the phrasing on these. I've talked to the person who does these scenarios and how to say it, but as long as they get into the clarification of the category, so like top 11 or better or whatever, as long as they get into that and then the things below it, as long as 4 of them do not happen, they are fine. So that's gonna change from every team. So as you guys can see for Dignitas, top 14, if they have that happened, they're good. If they don't win any series, 4 things can happen before they get eliminated. So if 5 things happen, then they're in trouble. So if BDS gets top 11 or better, and Endpoint top 8 or better, Misfits top 4 or better, Semper top 2 or better, and Vitality, EG, Zero Nation, or Flying Dutchmen win, then they will not qualify. So even if they don't win a single series, 5 of the things that are listed down below have to happen. It's a very, very tall order, but the biggest thing for Dignitas, if they win a series, they're good. We then go to BDS, team that's probably been one of the more consistent out of the region, even though they haven't won a regional, is their qualification is if they get top 11 or better. If they do that, then they make it in. If they win one series and get top 14, at most 3 of the following things can happen, implying that if 3 things happen, they're good. If 4 of these things happen, then they're in trouble. Endpoint top 11 or better, Misfits top 4 or better, Semper Vitality top 2 or better, and EG, Zero Nation, Flying Dutchmen, KCorp, or Williams Resolve win. So as long as 4 of those things do not happen, they are good. If they do not win a single series and they go 0-3, at most 3 of the following things can happen. Endpoint top 11 or better, Misfits top 8 or better, Semper top 4 or better, Vitality top 4 or better, that's with a tiebreaker, EG, Zero Nation, Flying Dutchman top 2 or better, KCorp top 2, that would lead to a tiebreaker, and then Williams Resolve and SK win. So as long as 4 of those things do not happen and they get 0 wins, they are fine. We then go to Endpoint. If they get top 8 or better, they're good. Make the playoffs, and they are in. Shoutouts to Endpoint and the results they've put up so far. If they get top 11, at most 3 of the following things are allowed to happen. BDS top 11, Misfits top 4 or better, Semper Vitality top 2 or better, EG, Zero Nation, Flying Dutchman, KCorp win, or Williams Resolve win, and if they do, there would be a tiebreaker. If they get one series win and hit top 14, at most 2 of the following things can happen. Misfits top 8 or better, Semper Vitality top 4 or better, EG, Zero Nation, Flying Dutchman, KCorp top 2 or better, Williams Resolve or SK win, and Team Queso win would lead to their tiebreaker. If they go 0-3, at most 2 of the following things can happen. Misfits top 11 or better, Semper, Vitality, EG, 00 Nation, Flying Dutchman, now Heroic, top 4 or better, KCorp, Williams Resolve, top 2 or better, and SK Team Queso win. Again, trying to give all the scenarios. There's a lot, but the big thing to keep in mind, if it says top 8 or better or whatever or better with nothing below it, if they get that spot, they're fine. If it says at most, you take that number. That many scenarios can happen. So at most 3 of the following, 3 of those things happen. If 4 happens, then they're in trouble. But then go to Misfits. If they get top 2, they're good. That's getting to the grand final is going to be a tough one, but Misfits has shown consistently top 8 potential. So awesome to see there. If they get top 4 and any of the following things don't happen, then it leads to a tiebreaker. And these are the things that can't happen. Again, I apologize for the way these are worded. I did talk to the person. I am not going to crunch the numbers and do all the math on it because someone's done it for me. Hopefully this makes sense. But if they get top 4, which is the semifinals, and any of the following things don't happen, it will lead to a tiebreaker. Why is it worded like this? Again, I do not like how these are worded. This person does pop into my stream. I am trying to teach them how to answer these a little bit better. But top 4 and any of the following not happening, which would then lead to a tiebreaker. Dig top 14 or better, BDS top 11 or better, Endpoint top 8 or better, Semper top 2 with a tiebreaker, Vitality, EG, 00 Nation, Flying Dutchman win. If any of those things do happen, then top 4 is not good enough. Either way, they're going to play in a tiebreaker. Hopefully that answers it the right way. Again, I'm trying to decipher this as I'm reading these too. It is not worded well, to put it lightly. So again, to clarify, if they get top 4, these things cannot happen to get a tiebreaker. That list that's shown on the right. Up next, if they get top 8 and make the playoffs, at most 3 of the following things can happen. If 4 happens, then they're SOL. BDS top 14 or better, Endpoint top 11 or better, Semper top 4 or better with a tiebreaker, Vitality, EG, 00 Nation, Flying Dutchman top 2 or better, and KCorp, Williams Resolve winning. If they get top 11, at most 2 of the following things can happen. Endpoint top 14 or better, Semper, Vitality top 4 or better, EG, 00 Nation, Flying Dutchman top 4 or better, leads to a tiebreaker, KCorp, Williams Resolve top 2, and SK Team Queso win. If they get top 14, again, 1 series win, at most 1 of the following things can happen. Semper, Vitality top 8, EG, 00 Nation, Flying Dutchman, KCorp top 4 or better, Williams Resolve top 4, leads to a tiebreaker, SK Team Queso top 2, and then Giants win. So if 2 of those things happen, they're in trouble. If they go 0-3 in Swiss and 1 of the following things happen, they're okay. If 2 things happen, they're in trouble. Semper, Vitality top 11 or better, EG, 00 Nation, Flying Dutchman top 8 or better, KCorp top 8 or better, tiebreaker, Williams Resolve top 4, SK top 4, which lead to a tiebreaker, Team Queso top 2, Giants top 2 with a tiebreaker or better, and FC Barcelona win. The fact that these are only going to get more and more annoying because there is no consistency for some reason in EU, I apologize. Up next, we go to the former top blokes, now Semper. If they win, they're in. Pretty nice. If they get top 2 and at most 4 of the following thing happens, they're okay. If 5 things happen, they're in trouble. Dig top 14, BDS top 11, Endpoint top 8, Misfits top 4, Vitality, EG, 00 Nation, Flying Dutchman win. If they get top 4 and make it to the semifinals, 3 of these things can happen. If 4 happens, they're in trouble. BDS top 14 or better, Endpoint top 11, Misfits top 8, Vitality, EG, 00 Nation, Flying Dutchman top 2, and KCorp, Williams Resolve win. They get top 8, make the playoffs. 1 of the following things can happen. If 2 happens, they're in trouble. Misfits top 11 or better, Vitality, EG, 00 Nation, Flying Dutchman or better, KCorp, Williams Resolve top 2, and SK Team Queso win. If they get top 11, at most 1 of the following things can happen. If 2 things happen, they're in trouble. Misfits top 14, Vitality top 8, EG, 00 Nation, Flying Dutchman top 8 with a tiebreaker, KCorp, Williams Resolve top 4, SK Team Queso top 2, and Giants FC Barcelona win. If they get top 14 with only 1 series win in Swiss, none of these things can happen. Vitality can't get top 11 or better, EG, 00 Nation, Flying Dutchman top 11 or better, KCorp top 8 or better, Williams Resolve top 8 or better with a tiebreaker, as well as the EG stuff as well. SK Team Queso top 4, Giants top 2, and Barcelona win. Again, if they'd go 0-3, they are in big trouble. Up next, we come to Vitality, a team that started really poor and then came back and went to the grand finals. Obviously, them trying to get a victory is a really important thing, and that's where it starts. If they win the whole thing, they are in. That is the only guaranteed qualification for Vitality. They got to win the entire thing. If they get top 2 and find themselves in the grand finals, 3 of the following things are allowed to happen. BDS top 11 or better, Endpoint top 8 or better, Misfits top 4, Semper, EG, Zero Zero Nation, Flying Dutchman, KCorp win. If 4 of those things happen, they're done. If they get top 4 and make it to the semifinals, 3 of the following things can happen. BDS top 16, Endpoint top 11, Misfits top 8, Semper top 4, EG, Zero Zero Nation, Flying Dutchman top 2, KCorp top 2, which would lead to a tiebreaker, Williams Resolve, SK win. If they get top 8 and make it to the playoffs, 1 of the following things can happen. If 2 things happen, they're in trouble. Misfits top 11, Semper top 8, EG, Zero Zero Nation, Flying Dutchman top 4, KCorp top 4 with the tiebreaker, Williams Resolve top 2, SK top 2, and Team Queso Giants win. If they get top 11, 1 of the following things at most can happen. Misfits top 14, Semper top 11, EG, Zero Zero Nation, Flying Dutchman top 8, KCorp was Resolve top 4, SK Team Queso top 2, and Giants FC Barcelona win. Again, I highly recommend if you are trying to follow and support your team as we enter kind of the halfway point of these, while you're watching the matches, if you want to go to the timestamp of these videos, hit pause. It is a really good way to keep this graphic up that tells you step by step. Okay, my team has made 1 series win. They're top 14. What does that mean? Okay, they're top 14. These things need to happen. And every time they progress, you can kind of check things off the list, whether it's good or bad. It makes it easy to follow along with. Up next, Evil Geniuses, Zero Zero Nation, and the Flying Dutchmen. We just saw them play their tiebreaker. Congrats again to Flying Dutchmen being heroic. More details on that in a later video. But these 3 teams are tied in the standings overall, and then they can go down to tiebreaker stuff. But as of right now, all their classifications are the same. If they win, they are good to go. If they win the whole thing, they are in. If they get top 2, at most 3 of the following things can happen. If 4 things happen, they're in trouble. BDS top 11, Endpoint top 11, Misfits top 4, Semper, Vitality, EG, Zero Zero Nation, Flying Dutchman, KCorp, Williams Resolve win. Again, a lot of people fighting for those points, and because of that, if multiple teams show up above them, they're in big trouble. If they get top 4 and make the semifinals, at most 2 of the following things can happen. Endpoint top 14, Misfits top 11, which would lead to a tiebreaker, Semper, Vitality top 4, EG, Zero Zero Nation, Flying Dutchman top 4, KCorp Willing Resolve top 2 or better, and SK Team Queso win. Again, 2 of those things can happen. If 3 happen, they're in trouble. They make playoffs and get top 8. 1 of the following things can happen at most. If 2 things happen, they're in trouble. Misfits top 14, Semper top 11, which would lead to a tiebreaker, Vitality top 8, EG, Zero Zero Nation, Flying Dutchman top 8, KCorp Williams Resolve top 4 or better, SK Team Queso top 2, and Giants Barcelona winning. If they get 2 series wins only in the Swiss stage, none of the following things can happen. Semper can't get top 14. Vitality, EG, Zero Zero Nation, Flying Dutchman get top 11. KCorp top 8. Williams Resolve top 8, which would lead to a tiebreaker. SK Team Queso top 4. Giants top 2, and Barcelona win. On to KCorp, team that has had some polarizing results. Just like Vitality, needs some big results to make it happen. First and foremost, they have to win the entire thing, and if they do so, at most 4 of the following things can happen. Dignitas top 16, BDS top 11, Endpoint top 8, Misfits top 4, and Semper top 2. If 5 of those things happen, they're in trouble. So winning, they're pretty much locked in. If they get top 2 and make it to the grand finals but lose, at most 3 of the following things can happen. BDS top 16, which would lead to a tiebreaker, Endpoint top 11, Misfits top 8, Semper top 4, Vitality top 4, which would lead to a tiebreaker, and then EG, Zero Zero Nation, Flying Dutchman, Williams Resolve, and SK win. Again, 3 of those things can happen. If 4 does, they're in trouble. If they make it to top 4, make it to the semifinals, at most 1 of the following things can happen. If 2 things happen, they're in trouble. Misfits top 11, Semper top 8, Vitality top 8 with a tiebreaker, EG, Zero Zero Nation, Flying Dutchman top 4, Williams Resolve top 2, SK top 2, and Team Queso Giants win. If they make the playoffs and get top 8, at most 1 of the following things can happen. If 2 things happen, they're in trouble. Misfits top 16, which leads to a tiebreaker, Semper, Vitality top 11, EG, Zero Zero Nation, Flying Dutchman top 8 or better, Williams Resolve top 4, SK top 4, which would lead to a tiebreaker, Team Queso top 2, Giants top 2, which would lead to a tiebreaker, and then FC Barcelona winning. If they get top 11, 2 series wins in Swiss, none of the following things can happen. Semper Vitality top 14, EG00 Nation Flying Dutchmen top 11, Realms Resolve top 8, SK Team Queso top 4, and Giants FC Barcelona top 2. Again, easiest way to follow along with these, if you are watching a team like KCorp, and you're like, you know what? They ended up losing. They went 2-3 in Swiss. They didn't make the playoffs. You then have to just go through the results on Wikipedia and be like, okay, did Semper Vitality get top 14? They did. Okay, shoot, we're out. So try to do it that way. Cross-check it. Makes it easier. Or stop by my stream, twitch.tv/Lawler. I will answer that stuff for you. I'll have these open while we do watch parties. Up next, Williams Resolve. We got like 4 or 5 left. We're still going. We're chugging along. If Williams Resolve wins, at most, 3 of the following things can happen. If 4 things happen, they're in trouble. BDS top 11, Endpoint top 11, which leads to a tiebreaker. Misfits top 4, Semper Vitality top 2. If they get to the grand finals and lose, at most 2 of the following things can happen. Endpoint top 14, Misfits top 8, Semper Vitality top 4, EG00 Nation, Flying Dutchman, KCorp, SK, and Team Queso can win. So 2 of those things can happen, 3 cannot. If they get top 4 and make it to the semifinals, at most 1 of the following things can happen. If 2 happen, they're in trouble. Misfits top 14, which leads to a tiebreaker. Semper Vitality top 8. EG00 Nation Flying Dutchman, KCorp top 4. SK Team Queso top 2. Giants win. If they get top 8, none of the following things can happen. Semper top 14. Vitality top 11. That Semper one would lead to a tiebreaker. EG00 Nation and Flying Dutchman top 11 leads to a tiebreaker. KCorp top 8. SK Team Queso top 4. Giants top 2. And Barcelona win. Now, before we get into SK Gaming, for some reason in the middle of this, the wording changes, and I don't exactly know why. So I'm going to try to keep it consistent, even though it's written differently. But hopefully for you guys reading at home, when it's written on the right-hand side of the graphic, it makes it more understandable. But for SK Gaming, they have to win, and no more than 3 of the following things can happen. Hopefully that makes more sense than at most 2 of these things can happen. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Either way, I hate it. But they have to win, and no more than 3 of the following things can happen. BDS top 14, Endpoint top 11, Misfits top 8, Semper top 4, Vitality EG00 Nation Flying Dutchman top 2. If they get top 2, no more than 1 of the following things can happen. Misfits top 11, Semper top 8, Vitality top 8 with a tiebreaker, EG00 Nation Flying Dutchman top 4, KCorp top 4, which leads to a tiebreaker, and Williams Resolve Team Queso Giants winning. If they get top 4 and make the semifinals, no more than 1 of the following things can happen. Misfits top 16, which leads to a tiebreaker. Semper Vitality top 11. EG00 Nation Flying Dutchman top 8. KCorp top 4 tiebreakers. Realms Resolve top 4 better. Team Queso top 2 or better. Giants top 2 with a tiebreaker. And Barcelona winning. If they get top 8, none of the following things are allowed to happen. Semper top 16, which leads to a tiebreaker. Vitality top 14. EG00 Nation Flying Dutchman. KCorp top 11. Realms Resolve top 8. Team Queso top 4. Giants top 4, which leads to a tiebreaker. And FC Barcelona top 2. For Team Queso, they have to win, and no more than 2 of the following things can happen. Endpoint top 14, which would lead to a tiebreaker. Misfits top 8. Semper Vitality top 4. EG00 Nation Flying Dutchman. KCorp top 2. If they get top 2, make it to the grand finals, and lose, no more than 1 of the following things can happen. Misfits top 11. Semper Vitality top 8. EG00 Nation Flying Dutchman. KCorp top 4. Or Williams Resolve, SK Giants win. They make it to the semifinals and get top 4. None of the following things are allowed to happen. Semper Vitality top 11. EG00 Nation Flying Dutchman. KCorp top 8. Williams Resolve, SK top 4. Giants top 2. And Barcelona winning. Next, Vodafone Giants. Their scenarios are very tough. They have to win, and no more than 1 of the following things is allowed to happen. Misfits top 11. Semper top 8. Vitality EG00 Nation Flying Dutchman top 4. And KCorp Williams Resolve top 2. If they get second place, they basically have to make it to the grand final. If they do lose in that grand final, no more than 1 of the following things is allowed to happen. Misfits top 16, which leads to a tiebreaker. Semper Vitality top 11. EG00 Nation Flying Dutchman top 8. KCorp top 8 with a tiebreaker would lead to. Williams Resolve top 4. SK top 4 with the tiebreaker. And Team Queso Navi Barcelona win. Now, some of these obviously have changed, like Navi is no longer eligible, so it gets rid of them in that conversation. Last but not least, we've got FC Barcelona. Don't worry, I'll do a summary after all of these as well. If FC Barcelona wins, no more than 1 of the following things can happen. Misfits can't get top 14. Semper Vitality top 8. EG00 Nation Flying Dutchman. KCorp Williams Resolve top 4. SK Team Queso top 2. If they get second place, none of the following things are allowed to happen. Semper Vitality top 14, which means a series win. EG00 Nation Flying Dutchmen, that's 2 series wins in Swiss. KCorp Vitality top 8. SK Team Queso top 4. And Giants winning. If you guys didn't see these at the bottom of all the individual team pages, this is the easiest way to kind of keep them up to date. But this is how things we assume are going to go, but you just never know with Europe. Dignitas is very likely in. They clinch with 1 series win. For BDS, also very likely in. They clinch with 2 series wins. For Endpoint, they clinch with top 8, and they're likely in with even 1 series win, depending on how tiebreakers and stuff work out. As for the Misfits, they have a good chance with top 8, and they're pretty shaky with only 2 series wins. For Semper and Vitality, they've got a good chance if they make top 4 in the semifinals, and it gets a little iffy if they only make top 8. For EG00 Nation and Flying Dutchmen, now Heroic, they've got a pretty good chance if they make top 2, and it's kind of shaky if they make top 4. For KCorp and Williams Resolve, they do not control their own fate. If they make top 2, they've got a pretty good shot. It's kind of unlikely if they make top 4, so winning is basically their way in, but they're going to need help. For SK and Team Queso, they have to win to have any real shot whatsoever. For Giants and FC Barcelona, they technically haven't been eliminated, but just give it a little bit of time. After a series or 2, they're basically screwed. And then for Navi and Guild, they've already been eliminated, as I mentioned earlier on. So those are all your summaries. I'm sorry it's complicated. I'm sorry the wording is really weird. But the biggest thing to understand is if it shows at most 4 of the following, that means 4 things can happen before they get eliminated. If 5 of those things happen, they're in trouble. If it says at most of, that's how that is. Hopefully these end up making more sense towards the end when it starts saying no more than 1 of the following, no more than X of the following. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense for the wording. But ultimately, if you guys have additional questions, either let me know in the comments down below. Sorry it was so confusing last time for North America. I'm sure it's no better this time. But stop over to the stream, twitch.tv/Lawler. I'll be doing watch parties for these. I'll be able to answer your questions about some of the stuff that's going on. And hopefully that'll make things a little bit easier in regards to following along with this. But my recommendation is kind of go to the timestamps, look at it, and be like, okay, I'm following this team. At most, this many things can happen. And then you just check the bracket and be like, okay, this many things have happened. This many things have happened. This has happened. Okay, that's only 2. They can have 3 happen. They're fine. So stuff like that is kind of the easiest way to do it. But again, come use me as a resource. That's why we stream live on Twitch. But with that said, if you guys do have any questions, again, comments down below. Give the video a thumbs up. Hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.